Tableau. When traveling in Laos, there are many sights to see. Before, I discussed my trip to the Plain of Jars, which I believe to be the gem of Laos. Though this is really just my perception, not actually something that I can definitively say, as I've only been to two cities in Laos, those being Vientiane and Phou Savan. The former, the Great Vientiane, is where today's story takes place. When flying into Vientiane, something becomes clear right away. This is not a major city, not Shanghai, not Tokyo. Instead, you're met with a nice but small airport. It really is quite strange, though we did fly in night, so perhaps that does account for something. What makes it strange, you might ask? Well, the fact that it's a capital city and there are no people. There simply are not many people, and it's tiny, and it's really not what you'd expect. Anyways, we were there, and we had an airport hotel, so it was easy enough to find it, and off we were on our trip in Vientiane. I knew that I had to go to see their number one site, Phat That Long. I hope I'm saying that right. In English, it's called the Great Stupa. Frankly, I was not that excited to see it. I had been to Thailand before, and I've really seen a lot of other structures like this. But we were in Laos. This is their symbol. And actually, in going there with my friend, I was pleasantly surprised. As my friend and I made our way to Phat Dat Long, located a few kilometers outside a shockingly empty city, and I mean like really, really empty. I'm not really sure where the people could have possibly been on this Monday morning, but let me tell you, they weren't there and they weren't on their way there. Though, when we turned the corner, we did see the gleaming, beautiful golden stupa towering over everything. It was really beautiful, but it was in a completely empty parking lot. I mean, completely empty. It's as if they were preparing, I don't know, 10,000 cars, 10,000 visitors, and they had us. That was it. Incredibly strange, but it was a giant, beautiful monument, and it was the symbol of Laos, right in front of our eyes and right next to a completely bare parking lot. Kind of bizarre. The monument was great. Phat Dat Long is considered the national symbol, as I've said many times, and it appears on their official seal and their currency and really anything Laos. It is a major pilgrimage site for the Buddhists, particularly during the annual That Long Festival held in November. This festival attracts thousands of devotees and is marked by religious ceremonies, parades, and cultural events. According to the legend, Phat Dat Long was originally built in the 3rd century to house a relic of the Buddha, believed to be a piece of his breastbone, brought by Indian missionaries themselves. Yet, this stupa has seen hard times. The stupa had to be rebuilt in the 16th century and restored after it was heavily damaged during a war. For decades, it laid in disrepair until the French restored it in the 20th century, probably the only good thing that they did, completing it in 1931, with further renovations in later years. It's a spectacular sight and something that the people of Laos should feel proud of. However, this, my friends, is not even close, not even close, to the best site in Vientiane. That honor goes to the one, the only, the historic, the fantastic, the Mekong River. Hope I said that right. Now, I will say there are problems about being passionate about a river. One of the biggest problems with being passionate about a river is, well, it's just a river. There are no drop off points, there's no, tourist site for a river. And when you ask a taxi driver to bring you to a river, they do really give you a confused look. Oh, and my friend was also an obstacle. You should have seen the look on his face when I said we were going to a river. A river? He said. Why the hell would we go to a river? I mean, seriously, you want to see a river? If you want to see a river, I don't know, go home and see a river. But I could not be stopped. In fact, I was like the current of the Mekong River itself, flowing down endlessly, leading myself to the grand destination of the Mekong itself. Again, as I've said, the Mekong River itself is just a river, it's not a landmark. So, this part of the trip required extreme critical thinking. It is not a place that you can just put into an app and let you drop off there. But, what do rivers attract? Think about it. What establishments love rivers, especially the Mekong River? Think about it. Well, you probably didn't get it, but the answer is restaurants. I pulled up a restaurant's address that advertised that they were on the river, and boom, the journey had begun. The roads of Laos were not great, certainly not as great as the river. And to get to this restaurant, we actually had to go down a dirt road. But damn it, it was right in front of us, right in front of a busy highway, the Mekong River itself. Now, you may be thinking, like my friend was, and I'll tell you, he was not that happy. Why are you so interested in a river? Well, again, this is not just a river. This is the Mekong River, not your average river. This is the 12th longest river in the world, which means it's longer than the 13th river in the world. The river, which begins in the Tibetan Plateau in China, flows through 6 countries. Which 6 countries, you're asking? Well, let me tell you: China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. I mean, this river has a profound historical importance to Southeast Asia. The Mekong River was central to the Funan Kingdom, a kingdom many people have not heard of, but was actually one of Southeast Asia's earliest recorded civilizations, and it was fed based on that Mekong River. Probably most famously, it's known for its vital role in the Khmer Empire, which built the iconic Angkor Wat near its tributaries. The empire used an intricate system of canals, reservoirs, and river systems for irrigation, allowing the great people of the Khmer Empire to strive and thrive in hostile, hot weather conditions. Oh, this river, oh, it has some modern history as well. The Mekong River, a key battleground during the Vietnam War, the dense waterways used for transporting troops and supplies, while the US military conducted operations to cut off the Viet Cong supply, and the routes, the river flowed on much like the Viet Cong spirit. The river could not be defeated, the river could not be controlled, nor could the hearts and souls of the northern Vietnamese. However, this river did suffer significant environmental damage from the bombings and the use of chemicals such as Agent Orange. And today this river, it still suffers from horrible pollution, which we definitely saw. But this river's soul does not stop. One cannot stop the power of the Mekong River. Today, it supports the livelihoods of over 60 million people through fishing and agriculture. And there it was, right in front of the heavy traffic. It wasn't too easy to get to the river. We had to cross the narrow but busy road, highway, uh, the same thing? Sometimes it's hard to tell in Laos. But either way, we needed to cross it. And then we needed to get down its banks, its great, beautiful banks. The banks were steep, physically and historically. Each step bringing us thousands of years into history. The moments of joy only occasionally broken by my friend saying, "It's just a river, man." And you know, well, yeah, it was actually just the river. It was nice, though, and I saw the Mekong. That would have been the end of the story. But we decided to eat at the restaurant on the other side of the beautiful historic Mekong River. It was highly overpriced, slightly romantic, which was awkward because we were just 2 dudes. But that's not the story. While eating, a giant storm broke out. There is a lore about the Mekong River. In local mythology, the Mekong is often associated with Nagas, a serpent like being to protect the river and its people. Many shrines and temples along the riverbanks are dedicated to these mythical creatures, none of which we saw. Could it have been, though, that Nagas himself had heard the rubbish and sheer disrespect that my friend had spewed? It's highly likely. Either way, the storm was massive, and soon the power went out. When the power went out, so did our Wi Fi. And we were stuck. We were stuck in a fairly romantic restaurant. Just us two guys. Now, I would admit, if you could be stuck anywhere in Laos, it would probably be by the Mekong River. But actually, we could not stay there and admire the beautiful Mekong River ourselves because we had a flight to get to. So we literally walked throughout the dark city of Vientiane, about an hour to get to our hotel, which was also dark. Luckily, our hotel receptionist was able to call us a cab, and someone got us to the airport, which was also dark, for about another hour, though we weren't delayed. My friend, already unhappy at seeing the Mekong River, was certainly unhappy now, asking me why I dragged him to Laos in the first place. But what was not dark was the shimmering memories of the Mekong River, fresh in both of our heads, with memories that will shine in eternal light. Thank you.